Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of January 21st, 2019. Every week we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hi there.
This week we're complaining about instant adulthood and obsessing about skincare, plus taking a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. But today we're focusing on something parents are always talking about: screen time. Just the words, just bring a little squeeze of guilt to your heart. So there was a little study that came out very recently that basically said if you are using screen time as a reward or a punishment, if it's like, do this or I'll take away your iPad, or do this good thing and you get your iPad, those kids are like net watching more screen time than if you weren't doing it that way. So great. I don't know. I mean, my son is 13 and it's a constant struggle. The other day he had a pretty late hockey practice and he came home, and on the way home I was like, you got to just take a shower and then get right into bed. Don't be watching videos. Don't be on your computer. It's just hurry up. And so, of course, I go upstairs like half an hour later, and he's in front of the computer. So I snatched away his phone and his iPad. He's like, but mom, I was just turning off the computer. Do you want me to go to bed with the computer turned on? I was just shutting it down. And I'm like, I don't care. I kind of lost it. And the next morning I said, it wasn't because you were on it it wasn't because you were shutting it down. It was because you were in front of it half an hour after you went upstairs, and you should have. Yeah. So anyway, but it's like my only tool, it's the only thing that he cares about.
That is hard.
I don't know what else to do,
The problem I have with the limiting of screen time as a incentive or a punishment at this particular time, I mean, my kids are young adults, but if there is one person in our house who is likely to be on the screen when they should not be,
we know who it is.
It's me. If there's one person who said, I have to go do something very important, and then is found looking at things on Facebook, it's me. So, if somebody has a phone at the dinner table, it's me. So, I, have trouble casting stones in this particular issue. It would be so much easier if I were, only read books and believed in getting outside and doing things. And my kids were, yes. And we're not on the couch with a blanket over me, working on my computer with my phone by my side while watching TV on, not uncommonly. So, I have no moral high ground to stand on for this issue. But I do, on the one hand, parenting-wise, if there's something that your kid loves, you can't just ignore that tool. You have to use it. I don't care what people in magazines or on the internet say. That's, that's what you have to do. That's the only thing that's going to work.
It's really the only thing that... the other day, my husband was having a meltdown, and he actually threatened to take away the hamster. But every one of us knew that was never happening. So
could you say, yes, excellent,
please.
Go, do that, co-sign.
Yeah, so, there's not much else, because things like the activities that he's involved in, we want him to be involved in those things, and also their team or group activities, and so that punishes the team and the group if you if you punish your child by taking it
Right.
away.
Yeah.
I mean, this study was about little kids, so perhaps there aren't parallels to the age group that we're talking about, or that I deal with. It makes sense.
There was something I saw on Twitter, and they also mentioned it on the Bobby Bones podcast, that there was some girl who called the police on her dad because he took away her phone. A teenager.
Oh, no.
So then there was I saw a lot of back and forth on Twitter as to, if you pay for the phone, do you have the right to take it away? If you didn't pay for the phone, but the kid is in your house, do you have the right to take it away? Or once it's the kid's, does it belong to the kid? And there's privacy issues for the kid. There's no privacy issues for kids. I'm sorry. But, so that's a whole thing too. My feeling would be, you're in my house, therefore I will take whatever of yours I darn well please. But I understand why people would think that's unsavory.
Right. And then there's what about families where there's divorce, different rules at different parents' house, and the parent, parent one takes away child's phone to spite parent two, and luckily we're not dealing with that.
Well, it doesn't even have to be in different houses though, because I do have a parent living in my house who is completely above the screen thing. And sometimes feels like things should be taken away, and I'm the one who's going, no, he needs it. Let him do it. It's good for him.
Yeah.
So,
well, I find it hard just because my daughter, she is a part of so many groups from school, like study groups.
Mm-hmm.
So taking away the phone is to her detriment, because she'll be missing, she'll be missing out on. I mean, they basically have a study group set up for every class, and she uses her phone every night to communicate and to do her, to help her with her homework and such. So I just feel like it's such an integral part of her world. So it's not just mindless,
right?
Searching, mindless browsing of the internet or social media. It's actually, she's using it for a purpose, and
right.
So I have a hard time, but we tried it with my son for a while. It worked when he was younger, but when he got older, it never worked. But I do notice though that she does she uses that time tracking on her phone to tell her how much time she's on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So she sets time limits for herself, which is kind of interesting.
Well, that's good.
Well, and that's great that it's self-directed, self-imposed. Yes. Because if you were telling her, you're spending too much time on there, you need to stop, she would not care.
No.
Right.
No. She cares. For her now, her vice, her, what do you call it? Her, I don't know, the thing that motivates her is money. So if there's an opportunity to make it or lose it, that's going to motivate her. So, my son, I don't know, like your kids, Terry, he's older and doing his own thing. So
I do. I mean, my son, when he's not working, is usually in his room doing something on his phone. And I think he's downloading pictures of cars or keys or car parts. But I haven't, every now and then I check just to make sure that it's not something less appealing. But it does seem to be a very long time that he spends doing that stuff. Downloads take time, I understand. So I do worry sometimes and feel like, is it, I've occasionally gone and looked on his phone and my husband has thought that was terrible. But sort of still I feel sort of still responsible for them, even as adults. If they're doing something that maybe they don't understand is wrong, I would want to know about it. I would not want to be the parent about which other parents say, where was the parent? So, the parent was, illegally breaking into our children's phones, which I pay for. So, I do pay for their phone service. So that gives me a little foothold. It is tempting. It is so tempting. Because, it's one of the few physical things that you can just take away that they will care about. Do these articles that say not to do that offer an alternative?
Well, I mean, no, they weren't offering. They were just.
Of course
they were just saying, like, well, just something to think about. If you're using it as a reward, like we only use the iPad on the weekend or whatever, then on the weekends they're going to binge. Basically, is what they're talking about. So
some Skid Row alley with their iPads hooked up.
Yes,
some sketchy power source. Getting their hits of the internet.
Well, if anybody has the ideal solution, let us know.
Yeah, we're all ears.
We're all ears.
Please let us know on any one of our social media channels so we can find out from behind a screen.
We have them open all the time. We'll be watching. 3 in the morning.
Available.
Doesn't matter. Hit us up.
Well, yeah, get a hold of us anytime. And that's it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2. And later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.